With the official release of GMO maize variety in Nigeria by the federal government, it has elicited a lot of reaction from Nigerians because of all the videos they see on the internet. Some posit that it causes cancer, that it affects the reproductive system of humans, a lot of issues. But the one that should scare you is the fact that it doesn't reproduce. Yes, they are sterile. Normally, after every harvest, all farmers store the ones that they will plant in the next season. But in the case of genetically modified seeds, they do not germinate. That ability to reproduce has been removed because they are genetically modified. So what it means is that the farmer must keep going back to the biotech company that produces these genetically modified seeds to keep buying them every planting season. So imagine depending on a company or a country for your food needs, for all your food supplies. What could go wrong? So this should scare everyone. Never mind the fact that Monsanto, the company that is producing these seeds, are already based in Nigeria. It is owned by Bill Gates. But what about what will happen in the future? They still own the technology behind it. Imagine what can happen in the future if there is a diplomatic problem between the two countries of Nigeria and America and they decide to stop supplying you these seeds. At that time, all the organic maize we have in Nigeria are no longer available. So what will happen in this situation? So it should scare everyone. Not that all the accusations or allegations against GMO have been verified, but the most important thing is that they are looking at this from the business angle. Why do they want to maintain a monopoly to supply seeds to a whole country, an entire country? It doesn't make any sense. Think of it like a monopoly, a company that is a monopoly of a certain product. So the entire country has to depend on the monopoly for the supply of that product. It is a very, very dangerous situation. Now, the biggest question is, why do Nigerian leaders always tackle problems the wrong way? Are Nigerian farmers in shortage of organic maize? No, is simply the answer. What farmers are begging Nigerian government is to provide security for them so that they can go back to their farms. Food inflation is at the highest in Nigeria's history, about 40%. So why is the government, instead of providing security for farmers to go back to farms, giving them seeds that are genetically modified so that a company and the owners can corner the entire Nigerian market? Imagine the entire country depending on one company for the supply of maize seeds. That's very dangerous for our health, for our existence, for everything. In fact, think of it like handing over your food supply to another country. What could go wrong? Remember what happened in Mangu, Plateau State in January this year? Mangu hosts the largest maize market in Nigeria. In Mangu, there is also the largest farmland where maize is cultivated in Nigeria, sprawling over thousands of acres. But majority of these farmlands were burnt down. Even the maize market was burnt down. Now, that's one part of the story. The second part is more than 4,000 farmers have lost their lives the past few months alone. So the question is, why are they targeting farmers? Whether you believe in conspiracies or not, you can link the dots. Why are these people targeting farmers? Look at what the Zamfara state governor said, that they handed over bandits to the police for prosecution and a court released the people after a call from above. That's talking about from Abuja.
We had issues, and some of these bandits were actually in our custody, but somehow, somewhere, without my knowledge, even though the guys that we got confessed to killing people multiple times and then possession of so many weapons, confession, but to my greatest surprise, this guy is nowhere to be found. It is something that we're still trying to unravel. And by the time we do that, we will tell the world exactly what happened.
So if a governor could say this, that means there is serious conspiracy from the top down to the bandits themselves. That means the government is not interested in tackling the major issue affecting farm produce in Nigeria. Also, going by recent news of what happened in Zamfara, in Katsina, and other regions of northern Nigeria, you will see that they slaughtered many people, tens, hundreds of people, including majority of farmers. So why are they targeting farmers? It's not as if most of these farmers are into large-scale farming like you see in the US, Holland, and many countries where they are into massive large-scale farming. Most of these farmers are just peasant farmers, so why should bandits prefer peasant farmers who can't even pay 1 million naira for ransom? And the attacks are about to increase, going by the news reported by AP that insurgents from the Sahel are being pushed towards Nigeria. They've crossed from Benin Republic into Niger State. They are currently camped around the Kainji National Park in Niger State. So what is the government doing to stop all these attacks on innocent Nigerians? Instead of stopping the attacks, they are distributing maize to farmers to plant so that they will replace Nigerian organic maize with GMO maize. So it's not about conspiracy, the evidence is there. Instead of tackling the main issue that is causing food inflation in Nigeria, they are busy running around the bush. Imagine people demanding you to provide security for them. Instead of providing that security or even making an attempt, they are now providing them seedlings to go back to which farm.
I've seen enough videos of people posting rubbery watermelon. I can't believe I got one. I got a rubbery watermelon. The texture is so weird. Like, you gotta bend it so far before it will break.
This is very strange. Natural watermelons have seeds. They are not elastic. They are very tasty. On the other hand, GMO and modified watermelons do not have seeds. Why would they have seeds? After all, they've sterilized them. They want you to come back all the time to buy the seedlings from them to go and plant. No one should be eating this. No wonder GMO crops are not in use in many European countries. They are not outrightly banned, but most of them do not plant them. They only use them for livestock because of the yield it has. But are we going to, because of the yield, plunge ourselves into the unknown? The organic maize we have in Nigeria might not have the same yield as the GMO, but we have massive uncultivated land in Nigeria. If we are dedicating 1 million hectares for planting of maize alone, if we have to consider the yield, we can now double the land size to 2 million hectares and plant the maize. This is safer than GMO, and the biggest risk a farmer can face is depending on someone for the seeds. That's very dangerous. If we're talking about an open market like Mangu Maize Market, where people bring their maize in the open market to sell, that's different. But imagine the entire country, the entire farming industry in Nigeria depending on one company, Monsanto, for the maize supply. This should scare everyone. This one is not about politics. This is about Nigeria's existence. So if you think there's no risk, you can go on and accept the maize and go and plant. And remember, the GMO variety is dominant. It will wipe out the organic maize we have in Nigeria within a few years alone. So everyone will be forced to depend on one company for the maize seed supply. With this, people can see how the policies of government can change and affect their lives. So in future, people shouldn't be saying, this doesn't concern me. I don't belong to any party. I don't support any party. I won't fight for any politician. Let them fight themselves. No, their policies affect you wherever you are. That's why people must take politics seriously. You must participate and make sure you do your best, because it's one of your powers in a democracy to vote out bad leaders. Imagine a government that people are demanding security from. Just provide them security so that they can go and farm in their farms. Nigerians are not lazy. They want to farm, they want to work, but the government is not creating the right environment for them to thrive. Instead of providing the security or giving them assurances that security will be beefed up around major farms, they're giving them modified GMO seeds that they didn't even ask for. Just like the Ministry of Agriculture that is building a sports complex worth 500 million naira. Ministry of Agriculture, what do they have to do with the sports complex? So when Nigerians demand A, instead of the government to respond with the A, they give you Z that you didn't demand for, that is actually of no use to you. That's the reality of Nigeria we live in. Thanks for watching.